I guess I'm doing this. This is Hard Parking, brought to you by Right Hunt and Right Toyota out of Scottsdale, Arizona, and I'm out at the Copperstate 1000. It is a very windy day. I'm checking out my Ceremonic wireless mics without the heavy hardware today. The Z is getting a lot of looks. In a little bit, I'm going to walk around inside the bowl, try to do some podcast interviews or just kind of test out the equipment. And the car show portion, there's a lot of cars out here. There's a lot, and I haven't even walked around and looked, but I feel like there's more cars out here in front of me that are part of the car show part, not part of the actual Copperstate 1000. If you want to hear the full details of that, you'll check out my interview that I did with Desi Alizetta, which is the chair of the Copperstate. Out here with Jhae Tuck as well. You've heard his name mentioned on the podcast, but he's a little camera shy. He's the man behind the camera, but he's not physically here right now. He's inside checking out all the cool cars. But all that's going to come after this word from SparkForge Arcus Foundry.
If you run a business and you're tired of juggling tools, chasing logins, and constantly feeling like the tech side of things is heavier than it should be, this might hit close to home. That tech fatigue usually shows up as an outdated website, reviews slipping through the cracks, missed calls when you're busy, or social media that's always on the back burner. Most business owners know something's off, but fixing it feels like a bigger project than they have time for. SparkForge exists to take that weight off. It handles the tech behind the scenes, helps clean up how your business shows up online, makes sure calls and messages don't get mixed, keeps reviews from slipping through the cracks, and wrangles social marketing so you don't disappear for weeks. If you're curious, there's a short discovery session, and it comes with 90 days free to actually see if it makes things easier. No pitch, no pressure, just a real conversation about what's working, what's broken, and what you can simplify. So head over to getsparkforge.ai/hardparking to get started.
We're here with Frank Roberts. Frank Roberts, you're here with your Jaguar.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your car.
Well, it's a 70 XKE Roadster, British Racing Green. I've owned it for about 4 years, and I like to rally it.
Is this your first time at Copperstate?
No, I was here last year with my XK140, 56 XK140.
So what's the story with this car? It's a beautiful dream.
Well, I fell in love with these cars. You mean the Germany story? I fell in love with these cars back in the late 60s when I was at Checkpoint Bravo in Berlin, and these people with security clearances couldn't drive their cars into West Germany. So they would hire me because of my connections. They would hire me to drive their cars to West Germany. I made $25, which was a lot of money back then. And I made $400 a month as a sergeant E5, and I made $1,800 a month driving cars. And I would drive cars to West Germany, and then I'd pick up a car and bring it back to West Berlin. I did that about 4 to 5 days a week.
That's good money.
It was big money. And that's where I fell in love with sports cars. I was a country kid, and I didn't know anything about sports cars, but I fell in love with Porsches, BMWs, 2002s, Triumph TR4s, and Jaguar XKEs. And it was a wonderful experience for me. It was a great duty station in the military, and all my buddies were getting shot at in Vietnam, and I was in West Berlin, so I got a pretty good gig going.
Thank you for your service, by the way.
Thank you.
So we have 1,000 miles with this thing.
Today. Oh, well, this week, 4 days. Yeah. We're doing over 300 miles, I think, today.
What keeps you coming back to the Copperstate 1000?
Well, camaraderie, the people are so nice. They do a really official job. And it's just fun. My wife and she loves to do it, and that's pretty special. So we do everything together. We do about 2 to 3 rallies a year in either Copperstate or some of the others around the country. And it's just fun for us.
So we noticed you're from Texas.
Yeah.
Reason myself and Jhae Tuck off camera. What was Texas like for you growing up?
It was all I knew, really, but it was a great stay. When I went in the military, I went out of Texas for the first time. They sent me to Germany, so I didn't have a clue where I was going. But it was great. It was a great experience. I was too immature to realize how significant it was in my life. But I thought I'd never have the opportunity to go back. I've been back to Europe probably 20 times, and I've been to Japan 48 times. So I've traveled all my life, been very fortunate. And so it was an experience that really helped me learn more about life and culture and people. And this really has a lot of men's stories in there. Yeah, a lot. Yeah, some that I can tell and some that I cannot.
Got any crazy stories for us?
No, I probably tell all the crazy stories I need to tell.
No, but look, you were taking a couple of minutes and tell us about your car and your life.
Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. So I'm back at the booth. There's a lot of really nice vehicles inside. Of course, why would there not be? There's a really neat Aston Martin, I think DB2 silver. Could not run down the owner. I have not yet walked around the car show. Maybe I should do that. Well, that was kind of neat. I couldn't show you guys, but Ralph Geel just stopped by and we were talking about the Honda Z, but I didn't sit him down here. He's at kind of that level where you have to get PR clearance from his company, probably. Because if you remember, if you've seen that interview, I talked about it, and it was a couple of years ago now, but he wasn't the first person to join the call. His publicist was. I was like, oh, and his publicist was cool, but it kind of threw me off. And I felt like we couldn't have that natural conversation that you want to have at like a Cars Coffee or a setting like this. But it was pretty cool. He just stopped by. I saw him inside and we kind of talked about the car, and that was neat. Him and his crew. I think if he was by himself, I would have maybe asked if he wanted to sit down and just talk for a couple of minutes. And he may have said yes, he may have said no. But in any event, it sure as hell wouldn't have been personal. But that was cool. Look, I stopped by, Mark.
Yeah, it's good to see you again.
Good to see you. What'd you bring out here today?
I brought a Renault Clio B6.
Tell us about it. Where is it?
2001. It's on the far side of the parking lot, next to a Alpine A110. Got the two French cars sitting next to each other. I just got it. It was already in the U.S., so I didn't have to import it. And it's in great condition. It's fun to drive.
Color?
Silver. It's a Phase 1 car. Silver was the most popular color for the Phase 1 cars.
That was on a magazine cover color, wasn't it?
I don't know, but the Phase 1 cars were about 80% silver. Mm-hmm. And then there was a blue and a red and maybe yellow. And the Phase 2 cars were mainly blue, and some other colors were less common. So Phase 1 cars are just now legal to bring in. So I've got, I think, the second one that I know of in the U.S., but I know there's more coming.
So how many of the super cool cars do you have now? Is that 3, 4, 5, or do you have a lot more than we've seen?
Super cool is
I know, but super cool to me. So the 3 that I've seen,
they're all super cool to me.
Yeah.
So I have a total of 8 cars now.
Okay.
I think they're all super cool.
Can you name them?
Sure. In age order, 85 Renault 5 Turbo 2, 86 Alfa Romeo GTV6, 91 Renault Alpine A610, 94 Maserati Shamal.
That's blue.
Yes.
That's the blue one. Okay.
2001.
The first one you named is the red one, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
2001 Renault Clio B6. Then we jump to the modern stuff. So then there's modern stuff is 2020 Audi SQ8, which is the tow truck, the tow driver, the tow vehicle. A 21 Porsche 718 Spider.
Okay.
In Python green. And 23 Ferrari Portofino M.
Got some cars.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. When are you going to do this thing? Does everybody ask you that question?
I don't have anything old enough.
Was it 60 something?
70, there's a 76 in there. We thought it was 73, but we saw a 76 Toyota in there. So I like the concept. I don't think I would do this particular event. But definitely, just getting a group of guys together and doing some multi-day rallies and something. Yeah, sure. We prefer talking about.
How many times have you been to this event?
This is the 3rd or 4th time.
Okay. Yeah, this is my 2nd, I think.
This is the most cars that they've had out here in the parking lot.
That's what I was thinking earlier.
But they've had maybe 60, 70% of this total, but there's definitely more here today.
From what you've seen, because I haven't even walked around yet. By the time I get up, they're all going to be gone. From what you've seen out there, anything new that caught your eye? New to you?
Yeah, there's such a great mix. There's American muscle. There's some German tuner kind of stuff. There's R34s or 32s. So RX-7s, or NSXs. And then you've got, like we mentioned, a couple of French cars, so some nice older Italian stuff, some older Fiats.
There's two Diablos right through the window.
Yeah, two Diablos. So there's a Lotus Esprit over there. There's just such a eclectic mix. Just fun. I'm not, as you can tell, I'm not a one mark hobbyist.
Sure.
So I like to see a variety as well.
These people are pulling out a little early.
There's a Porsche 718 RSK. I assume it's a replica, but that's pretty cool. There's a inside the vent. The Oscar is.
Which one is that?
It's a blue convertible. Late 50s, I think. I think Oscars typically had Fiat motors, but maybe not always. Maybe Alfa motor too. I don't know what's in it.
I know visually the cool cars. I just don't know what they all are.
Yeah. So I'd have to stand up and look around to call it anything else by name, but just a lot of nice cars here, and some project cars. So people that are in the midst of, or they're newer to the hobby, and they're trying to make something nicer, or it's just a driver, and they're okay with it having a few scuffs and scrapes. That's all good.
Well, good deal, man. Maybe I'll get out there and take a look around.
I hope so.
Or maybe I'll just stay sitting here till the end.
Certainly, we had unexpectedly nice weather today. It's been so hot, and then
with the exception, it's very windy today. But
yeah, but it's okay.
Last event that I did,
windy for microphone work.
I turned around and my tent was
last night was very windy.
20 feet away, and there was 4 people holding it. And so for the first time, I brought the sandbags.
Yeah.
And today would have definitely been one of those days where you have to anchor down. Did you see Ralph Gill? You know who Ralph Gill is?
I do.
He's out here.
I haven't. I don't sure I'd recognize him at first glance. He did a talk with the Scuderia Club a couple years ago.
Okay.
Very enjoyable. He's a very interesting guy.
Was kind of like me, just a little older, a little more handsome, and a lot more well-known, and probably a lot deeper pockets.
Well, at least one or two of those things are true.
One of those two, yes. Absolutely. I'll let you keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate you stopping by.
My pleasure.
Yeah. Thank you. The Z is getting a lot of love. I should take my cell phone and I should put it on the ground. I should just record like a time-lapse video of the car so you can see all the people that are stopping by and looking at it. I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but it is windy as hell out here today. It's crazy that I don't know if you're in the Phoenix area, if you've seen the flyers for this event. A lot of people that I've talked to had no idea that this event existed, or had no idea that they had a car show portion of the event. And I don't know how many years they've actually done the car portion of this event. But what I do know is that a lot of people didn't know that. So what you just heard fire up is a Shelby Cobra. I doubt it's original. It's probably a factory 5 or whatever. But it looks great as it's pulling off there. And I think, so in 30 minutes, the rally cars take off. Kind of looking around, I see a Carmen Ghia. I don't know if you all know what a Carmen Ghia is, but it's a really nice car. There's a really nice orange 2-door Bronco, old school, sitting in front of me. All right, guys, so I'm back at the booth. There's a lot of really nice vehicles inside, of course. Why would there not be? There's a really neat Aston Martin, I think DB2 silver. Could not run down the owner. It's kind of weird. I do these events because I'm not comfortable. I'm comfortable in my studio. I don't even know if I should even be talking this loud because I'm literally wearing the microphone on me. But, I'm comfortable in my studio. I'm comfortable when I'm at a friend's place. I'm comfortable when I have someone sitting next to me. I keep looking around because I never know who's going to walk up. When I'm sitting out here and I'm not as prepared as I want to be, it always bothers me. I wanted to bring the wireless or like a typical battery for these cameras so that I can walk around, but I felt a little self-conscious and weird walking around with a wire running to the backpack, which has the power pack. A little silly and stupid, but that's just kind of how I am. I like to be prepared. I'm not a prepper, but what I've learned today already is that, I've thought about buying the battery for these cameras that only lasts like 2 hours. but I don't need 2 hours. I don't need 2 hours to walk around and interview people on foot. I just need a few minutes of each person's time. Wes always makes fun of me for calling me a procrastinator. And as busy as everyone says I am very much a procrastinator. Because if I wasn't, I would have my tablecloth. Right now I'm on a white table and it bugs me because I forgot my freaking tablecloths. And I wanted to order new tablecloths because the old ones suck, but I should have had them. I set up the configuration around me just a little bit differently than I usually do. And so that throws me off. In fact, you can see behind me the hard parking half wall. Usually I guess those are usually on the sides. You could see in the background, maybe basically no, you're good. Jhae Tux NSX. I would show it to you, but I don't want to. The thing has like a Bosch supercharger on it. Looking out here, I see I think it's Arena Red. Is that kind of the purplish Porsche? You Porsche people will correct me. It looks like it's purple, but it's not purple. I think it's Arena Red. There is a silver R33. There's a Sylvia next to it. I should walk around and show you guys this stuff.
All right, so I'm back in the studio. We're a couple weeks after now the Copperstate 1000, and I actually just bought 2 rechargeable batteries for my Sony cameras, of which I'm looking at one of them right now. Before I close this episode out, I want to preview next week's episode is from the Long Beach Grand Prix. Well, it's not from the Long Beach Grand Prix, but Dre was in studio sitting right in front of me, and we recapped our trip. A lot of side mission conversations, but I think you're really going to enjoy it. It's true to the style of this podcast. Before I leave, I want to talk about the JAS Sport NSX. Originally announced, I guess, last October, and a lot of news came out in December. And now, this is April 23rd, and I guess we're right on the brink of it being officially introduced to everybody here in the next month or so, because it's making the rounds again. I looked at some of the images online and, excuse me, it doesn't look like I can't really pull out the visual differences between the current iteration prototype images and the ones I'm on the JAS Motorsports site right now, but the ones from last year. King Motorsports, if you go to King Motorsports on Instagram or their website, you're going to see probably a big article on it, Road and Track. Everybody's talking about it now. It looks like the power numbers, it's still going to be a manual, 6-speed manual, which everybody wants, but it kind of doesn't matter because there's only 35 of them being made. Originally, they said it'd be right-hand drive only, and I'll link my little comment or my episode on up in the corner. But now it might be right-hand drive and left-hand drive. Still not 100% sure. Looks like power delivery is going to be, or total horsepower is going to be around 420. But you still do need a donor NSX. And I'm not quite sure looking at it why, because every body panel on the NSX that you donate is going to be replaced. And it's essentially a carbon fiber wide body kit. And then some. I don't want to reduce this to just being a body kit because it is more. It is a reimagined, redesigned version. So what do I think about it? I don't remember exactly what I said when I talked about this 4 months ago. But, I mean, it's a good-looking car. It's really good-looking. And there's a current silver render of one that looks really good. Silver with the black canopy on top. And it looks like the interior, it has, I can't tell if it's orange or tan seats with black accents. It looks great. I think it would be nice to have one in the collection if you just had a bunch of NSXs and you had one that was beyond repair or pretty smashed up. Yeah, and if you had the money, sure, it'd be cool to have one, but there's a lot of comments where people are saying this should be the next NSX. This is what the new NSX should have been the whole time. Well, no, because it looks like the old NSX. It looks like if you look up the Comtech wide body NSX, you'll see a bunch of pictures of like a 91 or maybe it was a 92 yellow NSX. There was a silver one, and it looks a lot like that because this Pininfarina JAS Motorsports one called Tensei is a wide body NSX by any stretch. Looking at it, it looks a lot like the Comtech wide body NSX, but modernized. And the Comtech kit was awesome, and this one's awesome. But I don't know if we'll ever see one in person limited to 35. Maybe. I'm looking forward to it. But that's all I have on this episode. I want to thank Right Honda and Right Toyota, Spark Forge AI from Marcus Foundry, Auto Cannon, officially licensed Honda and Acura gear. Patreon business supporter, Kuya Automotive out of Winter Garden, Florida. Automotive specialty tool out of Owings Mills, Maryland. The Shaping Success, Treasure Valley out of Boise, Idaho. Big House Small Home Design out of Ashburn, Virginia, Traverse City, Michigan. And the Lucky Break Sports Breakers out of Caledonia, Michigan. If you're in a position to help the podcast upgrade, you can buy me a coffee if you're watching this on YouTube. There's a little link at the bottom, like a membership thing. Or you can join the Patreon for as little as $3 a month, patreon.com/hardparkingpodcast. Questions, comments, or concerns, email the show, info@hardparking. Last but not least, I want to thank Mark Stolman, Catherine Cox, Eddie Ramos, Richard Graves, Byron Jones, Bo Jong, Alice Camino, Drew Bunkley, and Dre Mullins for supporting the show. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube. Follow the show on Instagram @hardparkingpod, and I will talk to you all next week.
Shut up!